Welcome back to another exciting episode of Spartan TV.
Welcome back to another episode of Spartan TV. We have a great show lined up for you today.
First, me and Eve will be taking you on a tour of the school, and then Abby and Rebecca will be doing a behind the scenes with Ian and his brand new show.
Then, Kate will be talking about some stress that comes along with the holidays, and Emily and Olivia will be talking about some great gift ideas to give to your friends and family this holiday season.
Welcome to the home of the Spartans, which has been running since 1980.
This building is the place where grades 9 to 12 come for 4 years to learn, achieve, and aspire before they graduate and move on with their lives after high school.
This school has been home to many Spartans and staff members and has changed a lot over the years. So we're going to take you inside the walls of St. Stephen High School to see how much it has changed. Here are the doors that students enter and exit through every day. The first thing you see when you enter our school is the Spartan head. It's actually an unspoken rule that we don't step on the Spartan head when walking through the entrance. To the left of the Spartan head is the cafeteria where students eat lunch and hang out during break.
To the left in the cafeteria, we have our pool and foosball tables and our wall of honor to celebrate our proud alumni. There's also a reception desk that is there to help you with anything you need.
If you walk down this hallway, you will see countless grad classes showcased in the halls. And next is the home ec room. Then you have the office, where you will be met with Miss Pomeroy, who has held down this fort at St. Stephen High School for very many years. We also have Mr. Harris and Miss Amos's offices, which are our vice principal and our principal.
If you continue down the hallway, you will come to the guidance room with Miss Waycott and Miss Dow. They're here to help students with whatever they need, from post-secondary help, counseling, and course selection. Across the hall from the guidance room is our new art room that was just moved here this year. Then that brings us to the first floor locker area and also the bus doors where kids coming on and off the buses enter, and it also leads to our teacher parking lot. If you come back through the cafeteria and move through our main doors, it'll lead you right to the staircase, which leads to our second and third floor. But if you continue down this hallway, it'll lead you to our gym and our shop classes. This is our gymnasium where our students take part in gym class or sports activities like basketball and volleyball. Along the walls are banners won by previous student athletes. Pre-COVID, this was the room that we used to hold our school-wide assemblies. Above the bleachers, there's 9, 10, 11, and 12, which are the numbers showing that we used to sit with our grade levels.
Outside of our gym, we have our small engine repair, welding, and carpentry shops. On the far side of the cafeteria, we have the theater, the music room, and our new workroom. This is our theater where we do all of our plays and all of our theater arts classes, as well as some assemblies.
This room is also used for when the school wants to present something to our students or our community, like the sports banquets, the grad banquets, or when there's something being put on by the public at the school.
Now we've entered the main part of our second floor, which is our social study and English primary classrooms. We are also surrounded by our balcony where students hang out during break and lunch, and our award stands. On the right side of the balcony, we have our learning commons where students do their online classes and use the computers.
Next up, we have our newly renovated tech wing. First, where the old computer lab was on the second floor, it's now Mr. Legg's BBT-10 classroom. Next to it, there's also a 3D printing room and a robotics room. Also down this hallway is Mr. Young's outdoor pursuit classroom, a new sewing room, a new computer science room, and a digital production classroom where all of our videos are filmed. Then that brings us to our second floor locker area. Now we are up on our third and final floor. This is the floor where all our math, science, and French classes take place.
After reaching the third floor, we have finished the tour of the home of the Spartans. Next, we'll be interviewing our very own Ian Curran and his brand new show.
Brilliant Labs is an organization based in Atlantic Canada that encourages youth to learn through experiential, hands-on creativity, innovation, and technology with the use of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
They offer entrepreneurial values in schools and communities by changing education throughout Atlantic Canada and beyond. When students were on lockdown in April of 2020, Brilliant Labs came up with a show that they called Maker Fun. The goal of the show was to bring home learning to students of all ages.
This season, the Maker Fun Lab is here at St. Stephen High School. One of our very own talented grade 12 students, Ian Curran, has been given the opportunity to host Maker Fun.
Now let's go talk to Ian to find out what his role as the host of the show entails.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us today, Ian. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your collaboration with Brilliant Labs?
Sure. So my collaboration with Brilliant Labs started last year when I started producing some films for them. So we'd go to the sites and we'd shoot for them. And then recently, about a few months ago, I was contacted by Brilliant Labs, and they wanted me to host their TV show called Maker Fun, which is streamed on Rogers, Bell Alliant, YouTube, and on Eastlink, I believe.
All right, so you've been involved with Brilliant Labs for quite a bit, you'd say.
Oh, definitely. Brilliant Labs actually is also has helped fund and support our tech wing here at the school.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the Maker Fun TV show?
Oh, I'd love to. So Maker Fun was created last year at the beginning of the pandemic when students were unable to get access to hands-on learning and activities in the classrooms. So Maker Fun basically is a bunch of different activities and learning opportunities for kids who are at home. We do some awesome stuff like learning about electricity, geology, biomimicry, just so many awesome technology, like STEM really, just STEM projects that they can do.
Okay, so it really kind of encourages our youth to get into science and technology, STEM, engineering, mathematics, like you said.
Totally.
Yeah, so why do you think it's important to get our youth into those subjects, into STEM?
Oh, well, I believe STEM is just, an awesome field. Even if they don't pursue it in, post-secondary ways, I just think science is cool, Science is something that everyone should know. Everyone should know a little bit about how your body works. I personally really enjoy psychology and how the brain works. But really, people should have a basic understanding of science and how that works. Along with that, I think there should be an added element of fun in there as well, hence the name Maker Fun. I think fun is definitely an aspect to make this information a little bit more easy to digest.
Yes, definitely. So like you said earlier, that question before, STEM is really important to learn, but what exact topics have you covered so far in the show?
Oh, totally. Well, our first episode that I filmed with Brilliant Labs, we talked about geology and how rocks are formed, and also different methods of categorizing scientific information. Then we went on and we talked about biology, right? We talked about like biomimicry and how some animals can look and adapt to their environment. We're going to talk about, in the next episode that I'm going to film, we're going to talk about electricity and how awesome electricity can be.
Oh, so that's a little spoiler for the next episode of Maker Fun.
Oops.
What would you say your favorite part of filming the show and hosting the show Maker Fun would be?
Oh, man, that's a great question, Rebecca. My favorite part is to be able to express myself not only theatrically, but also creatively as well. Due to the pandemic, like the children who are watching the show, I've been deprived of many things that I enjoy, like theater and creativity, so we haven't really had drama productions at our school. So through this, I'm able to express my dramatic interests on camera, and it's just such a blast to film, really. I mean, you know, you're sitting there and you're just laughing, you're joking around, but you also have the notion in your head that, hey, I'm helping these children learn, and as I plan to pursue a career in both journalism and or education, I feel, you know, learning to teach is a good thing to learn while in high school. Get an early head start, if you will.
Yeah, so it's kind of like an outlet for you, your dramatic outlet, but it also seems like it's an outlet for the kids because it gets them working at home, and especially for those kids that are really, really interested in science and math and stuff like that. So Ian, you're filming the show Maker Fun. I assume it's filmed at school. Where exactly is your lab, and what is your lab like?
Oh, well, that's a great question, Rebecca. So the film set is actually based in our technology wing here at school. Me and my teacher, we spent a lot of time painting it and decorating it. We took some scientific stuff from our science labs. You know what? Why don't I go show you? Come on, let's go.
Yeah, that would be great.
So in here, as part of our technology wing, this is the Maker Fun set that we use. We got all sorts of fun little knickknacks, like this awesome microscope. And up here, we've got like a diagram of the eyeball. We've got a diagram of the brain. We even have a B-board, which is one of Brilliant Labs' things that they manufacture. It's pretty cool. It's like a little programmable robotic thing. And we have my best friend here. Her name is Shelly. She's our skeleton here from our biology lab. And on Shelly, we have the hat that we actually used for the geology episode, which is pretty cool. Now, other than, you know, stuff looking on the set, we also have some technical things in here as well, like this light, which helps us, you know, light up the set. We also have one up here that helps with backlight, and some plants that make it look nice and pretty. Over here, as you can see, this also functions as a 3D printer lab. So if I come over here, we've printed lots of 3D printed things, which have also actually ended up on the show and on the set. And another cool thing that we use is this awesome teleprompter, which helps us memorize lines and stuff like that. So then if you come out this way, we'll show you, it's actually just simply in an office space that is used in our tech wing here at school. So if you look down there, there's our thing. And you look on the door, it says Maker Fun.
Wow, Ian, that's an amazing accomplishment. Everyone here at St. Stephen High School is really proud of you.
Speaking of being proud, the holiday season is right around the corner, a time where people are expected to be proud and full of excitement. In fact, it can be so exciting that sometimes you tend to forget about the stresses that come with the holiday season.
Let's turn to Kate and learn some more about stress during the holidays.
Holiday season is often perceived as a joyful time of the year. After all, who doesn't like presents, chocolate, and time to spend with their loved ones? However, these same things can actually cause stress in many people. And especially with the pandemic, families are struggling to get together due to COVID regulations. Let's go find out what some of our students and staff said about holiday stress. What stresses you out about the holidays?
What really stresses me out about the holidays is Christmas shopping for my wife, because I don't have a sweet clue what I should get her.
I find it super stressful buying the right gifts for family members in the holidays.
My biggest stress over the holidays would be having to decorate for Christmas. I can't stand decorating.
I get stressed out trying to organize my schedule.
What stresses me out is shopping in general. Being there, thinking about it, doing it, it's all stressful for me.
Now that we know some things that cause holiday stress, let's go see what Miss Dow, one of our guidance counselors here at St. Stephen High School, has to say about holiday stress and some tips that she would like to give us. I'm here with Miss Dow, one of our guidance counselors here at St. Stephen High School. So Miss Dow, during the holiday season, what would be something that you often get stressed about?
Oh, that's such a great question, Kate. And so many people have troubles around the holidays. So for me personally, I stress out about time because I just feel like there's never enough of it as a parent and as a teacher, and just in general as a human being. And money. I think money is something that people don't always talk about as a stressful event around Christmas, but you have gift giving that you already have to pay for on top of all your regular budgeting and bills. So I think that's, for me, probably the 2 most stressful things.
Yeah. And how do you usually deal with those?
Another great question. I love talking about stress. So one of the ways that I take care of myself through stressful events is I stop, pause, and kind of evaluate how I'm feeling at the time. I think of the 8 portions of the wellness wheel, try to make sure that all of them are balanced. So sometimes I find if I'm spending too much time socializing all day, that battery is really drained at the end of the day, and I need to recognize that, pause, and do something to sort of correct it so that I can move forward and feel better. So if I could give anybody advice, even on my end of stress, is to just pause and take a moment and sort of regroup for your next step.
1 in 4 Canadians experience a stressful holiday.
Be on the lookout for sure signs that include short temper, lack of concentration, poor sleep, headache, and upset stomach, and not because of all the chocolates.
1 out of 4 experience extreme stress.
Receiving a gift and not having one to give back happens to over 43% of us, causing, you guessed it, stress.
49% of Canadians overspend.
57% of people foresee a season with more fun than stress.
45% would rather skip Christmas.
69% of people lack time, while 70% lack money.
35% of Canadians would rather shovel snow than pick out gifts for everyone in their home.
Gifts are only one stress. Food is another major one.
Cooking for others, food requests, and food sensitivities causes stress in over 50% of Canadians.
34% say they would rather work than prep the holiday meal.
Lack of appreciation from others, sore muscles, loss of appetite, and decline in motivation are all things to be on the lookout for this holiday season.
Do you think COVID during Christmas season, do you think that there's anything that maybe that's special during this time of the year?
Really good question. I think, again, turning it into a positive, as I always try to do, taking that time to reflect on how hard things have been. Really take a moment to pause and give ourselves grace for what we've been through and what we continue to endure. Because this is an astronomical world event, and it's not easy for anybody. So grace, that's the word I'm going to go with here. Yeah. Giving everyone a bit of grace. And even when we're interacting with other people and having maybe a confrontation or a disagreement, giving them some grace and maybe understanding that we don't know exactly what they're going through, but maybe they're going through something too. Yeah. So I guess grace is my theme word on that one.
Awesome. And for those who may be like immunosuppressant during COVID-19, the pandemic, and with the holiday season approaching, humans like to socialize. So what advice would you have for people who may not be able to gather, maybe because of their condition, or maybe they just don't feel comfortable?
Oh, I love talking about this because we're kind of coming out from 2 weeks of sort of doing this. So I guess my answer to that question is to try to connect as much as you can virtually. Use our technology to our advantage. Kind of contradictory to the last message about unplugging, but if you can't unplug because people are distant, then use technology to your advantage. Write to people who you might really miss. Show them that you care by sending them a card. Connecting with people distantly is really the best way to take care of yourself and ensure that you're connected. So again, FaceTiming, sending an old-fashioned snail mail letter, even a nice email is a great way to connect with people and just reach out even when you can't be physically together.
Right. And what do you think are some ways that young students or just anyone in any age can do to maybe like relieve their stress during the COVID pandemic, as well as like during the holiday season with all the stress?
Excellent. I've got a couple of ideas for that actually. Someone told me recently that there's a cool feature on a lot of streaming devices called a watch party. So I think the one way that us teens, I should say, take care of themselves for that 2 weeks is have a watch party with your friends. There's a new show coming out that you all want to kind of talk about together. Have that watch party in a text conversation if you can't get all together and do that. Another thing that someone told me recently is that during the 2 weeks of online learning, they used to meet their friends every day for a video chat and eat lunch together. And I thought, what a great way to stay connected and get your social battery filled throughout the day when you can't really leave. So depending on everybody's situation that they're in, my hope for everyone is that they find a way to stay connected throughout those 2 weeks. COVID and stress-related things kept in mind, of course.
Awesome. And to end things on a more lighter note, what are you most excited about for the holidays?
Oh, I am excited to watch my daughter open presents, of course. And I'm really excited to unplug and recharge myself. Put my computer away, put my phone away, and just be present with the people that I love as much as I can. So, thanks for asking, Kate.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Ms. Dow. Thank you to Ms. Dow for her great tips on managing our holiday stress. And we hope that you can all take something from our interview to help with your stress this year.
Number one, green and white is number one. Green and white is number one. Never give me a round of applause for something I did of me.
It's that time of year again, where lights are being put up on houses and trees are being decorated. This season brings us lots of love and light, but it can also bring many different kinds of stress, as Kate talked about, including the stress of buying meaningful gifts for your loved ones. Christmas presents can be more than just expensive items from a wish list. They can also be heartfelt gestures that will be remembered and appreciated for years to come.
We are here to give you some tips for buying or making the perfect meaningful gift. We will also give you some specific examples that we think would be cherished by anyone on your list. So grab some hot chocolate, settle under a cozy blanket, and let's get started.
The first way to make your gift more meaningful is to buy or make something that connects to the recipient's hobbies or interests. For example, you could buy yarn for an avid knitter or put the ingredients for a baked good into a large mason jar for someone who's getting into baking.
A meaningful gift I received would probably be my guitar. At first, when I got my first guitar, it was a right-handed one, but I'm left-handed, so I had to restring the guitar originally, and then the following year I got a left-handed guitar. I really liked the gifts because it allowed me to learn guitar and to be able to continue playing the music, which I really enjoy.
What is the most meaningful gift you have given?
A couple years ago, my mom, my sister, and I gave my dad a set of wood burning pens because he really likes to carve, and at the time he didn't have any, and he's used them a lot since then.
The next way is a personalized version of a general item. There are several companies and websites that make customizable items. For example, you can get a shirt which has a funny saying on it that you think the other person will like. It could even be an inside joke. You could also order a puzzle made from a photo of both of you.
Next, you can center your gift around a shared memory. Some examples would be a gag gift about an inside joke that you two have together, or a gift card to the first restaurant you ever went to.
A meaningful gift I got was my computer parts in September 2019. They mean a lot to me because I always wanted a computer. I played on something that was completely terrible for like 5 years.
Another way to celebrate the holidays is through an experience. Instead of buying a gift that will remind them of a shared experience, create a new one. You could plan a southern vacation or get tickets to a hockey game or concert, although it definitely doesn't have to be so expensive. You could spend the night at a nearby hotel, or for even cheaper options, you could plan a movie night or spa day at home.
So a meaningful gift I received was pre-COVID, before all of the shenanigans. I had an uncle who said he wasn't going to come for Christmas, and we were kind of disappointed because we'd had him all the prior years, but then he drove through about a 12-hour blizzard and showed up on our doorstep at 2 in the morning unbeknownst to us, so that meant a lot.
Making a DIY gift is also an amazing option. Everyone appreciates handmade items. They feel personal and special. From baked goods to a homemade wax candle to a snow globe or ornament craft, these presents don't need to be elaborate or difficult.
On the subject of hand creating a gift, a photo album would mean a lot to your loved ones and be the perfect Christmas gift. You can do this by printing photos from your phone and putting them in a photo album. You can also purchase a photo book from a website like Shutterfly, create a scrapbook, or frame a special photo. There are also online websites that you can use to create a calendar and put photos of you and them together in them.
All right, Miss Summers, what is the most meaningful gift you've given?
Okay, this is going to be kind of emotional, but when my mom was very sick with breast cancer, my sisters and I went back through all the picture boxes and scanned all the pictures from her life back to like the black and white ones where she was with her own parents, and then all the way through up to that particular summer where we were all together to kind of celebrate her. And so we made a book, a picture book, and of all the things that she had kind of taught us. And one of the big things was she really loved to do thank yous for people, and that's kind of been a foundation for other things in my life. But the whole book was like a really big thank you letter to my mom.
If you have a loved one living far away, or someone close to you who you want to feel more connected to in everyday life, you could buy them an engraved necklace, watch, bracelet, or ring, or some long-distance touch lamps.
If you're artistic, you could get creative and make an art piece, from a painting for their room to a special hand-drawn card.
Finally, writing a heartfelt message is a timeless and personal way of making someone feel special this holiday season. You could write them a meaningful letter, put notes in a bottle, or fill a jar with compliments and inspiring quotes written on slips of paper. This time of love and happiness is the perfect opportunity to make your loved ones feel uplifted.
A meaningful gift that I've given is writing individual letters to each of my family members and giving them paintings that correspond with who they are to me. I feel like this is meaningful because it highlights our connection.
Well, one of the most meaningful gifts I've received was this box. It was given to me by a class of students that I taught my first year at the high school. I was teaching an English second language course to some exchange students, and we had a great semester. But at the end of the semester, a lot of them were leaving to go back to their homes, and they put together this box, which has their flags on the top, and each of the students wrote me a letter. So the box is full of letters, thanking me and talking about things they enjoyed about the class. Several of them were from Brazil, and they gave me a little bottle of sand from Brazil, from the beaches in Brazil, and told me that they would love to have me come and visit. So this has been a really special gift. I keep it on my bookshelf in the classroom to remind me every day to make sure to have fun with my students.
It's important to remember that gifts are not what matter most during this holiday season. Spending quality time with the people important to you and showing them your love is what matters most. So dedicate your time to that rather than buying the best gifts.
It may be a cliche, but it really is the thought that counts. If you put love and attention into your gift, it will be meaningful and remembered by the recipient for years to come. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Spartan TV. And happy holidays from our team and the student body here at St. Stephen High School.